What's up there, Art of Effortless Attraction? It's David, and excited that you're in this group, and that I'm doing this video today on an important topic of why getting a girlfriend won't save you. This is my second Facebook Live ever, so curious to hear from you guys what you think in the comments below and all that. And this is a really, really important topic because, I speak to multiple guys every week. A lot of guys always contact me through email and whatnot. And, one of the most common things is pretty much every guy wants a girlfriend relationship and or get married eventually, which is a smaller subset, but it is about getting that fulfilling relationship. And even if guys want to come by and be, more the ladies' man type, which, is actually on the rarer side when I see like applications for breakthrough sessions and stuff like that. It's usually more confidence, want to be attractive to women and then want to find the right woman, right? Those are typically the things I see. And, going on dates and dating around is ultimately to be able to find that right woman. And so I want to talk about why this getting a girlfriend won't save you and what are some myths here that we typically all have fallen into, including myself, about what it means to get in a relationship and kind of the pitfalls that occur once you get the girlfriend, right? And a lot of you guys know this, especially if you've been married, because what typically happens is, how we're typically conditioned is, ooh, I'm gonna meet this girl and I'm real excited and I'm gonna put my best foot forward and then I can like let it all go and then I can be who I really am. Sorry, I got a cat on my feet, digging into my feet. That's who I really am. And that, which is sort of like implying that wasn't you, right? And you can let it all hang out. Well, the problem with that is you're, one thing that we run into is, yes, we got to be our best selves, but we got to be our best selves all the time if we're going to be successful guys in general in life. And if we're putting a foot forward as, okay, I'm going to put my best apparent self, right, the one with no flaws and all that stuff forward, and then I'm going to let all my flaws out later on the couch, right, when I'm at home with her, and there's no congruency there, that's a problem. That's a real problem. And so sort of the art of this is, yeah, we need to be confident, right? We need to have good social skills. We need to be good at flirting with women, right? We need to be good at all this stuff. And that doesn't stop when you're in a relationship either, right? It's like, okay, I'm going to be flirting all this, and then I'm going to just stop that and not have to worry about, keeping things spicy or romantic or flirty or sexual when we're in, a relationship. And so, at least for what I help guys with, I'm the guys that I want to help and that I want to have it all in life. And of course, that includes with women, but it's career and it's health and it's the whole team of life to the best that we can in every area, right? And which naturally leads to being an attractive guy, by the way, and not putting women first. Because again, when we put women first, that's not how masculine energy works. It just doesn't work that way. It's not attractive. You've got to have a mission, career, all these things first. Otherwise, her attraction goes down. She might stay in a relationship with you and all this and that, but it's more of a friendly vibe rather than a polarized, romantic, sexual vibe. Okay? So that's why you got to have your goals. You got to work on yourself for you. And then that naturally, of course, attracts women much more easily, right? Much more easily and readily. It's not the only thing, but it's a key component. And it's where guys come to me that have, been divorced and whatnot. They get married in their 20s. They wake up 20, 30 years later, and then they're back on the dating scene. And then, we often get into, well, what happened? Why did the marriage fall apart or whatever? Or why did she suddenly say, I want a divorce? Or why was she cheating, on the guy? And a lot of times it's, well, I just kind of let things go or I let myself go or whatever. And I'm not blaming men or the man side only, but this is the side we work with, right? This is the side to work to empower. And so we take a look at that and we see, okay, well, you're going to have to, right, sort of relearn what you did, because maybe they met their sweetheart in high school or college when things were on fire. They're going to college, maybe they're playing sports or getting a career, and they were being their best selves, and then it sort of, drifted apart over the years. And I'm not blaming the guys, because things happen that way. Things drift apart between people and all that, and the sexual attraction could go down for various reasons, and life happens and kids happen and all that. But now, one of the mistakes that can be made is, as a guy gets back into it, he comes from the mentality, okay, great, so I'm gonna learn this stuff, I'm gonna get help from David, and then I'm just gonna go back to relaxing again. And if history repeats itself, if that's not an indicator, but it's easy. So you can't come from the mindset of, well, I'm just gonna be my best self until I get the relationship, and then I'll be saved. Hallelujah. Then nope. You got to maintain and keep doing that. Keep being your best self. Keep improving. Keep growing. Keep learning, and mainly do it for you. And then there's attraction problems won't be there. And I'll tell you a little story. Several years back, I was out at this bar that I used to hang out at, that I was kind of a regular at, and I would just go by myself and met people in social circles. And there's a wall right here, so if you're wondering why that looks like my arm is floating, it's not. And what ended up happening is I was talking with this woman. There were a few women there. She started complaining about her husband, that he never goes out and he just sits at home. And she was out with her girlfriends, right? And they have kids and stuff. And so I'm going, well, this is happening, right? That your attraction's gone down because he didn't used to be that way. He used to go out with his friends and this and that. She's like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. So it's almost like he wanted to be the stay-at-home mom. And not that there's anything wrong with staying home with the kids as a dad, but she was the one who was going out and he was the one staying in. And I sort of was like, because I know all this stuff, right? And she was like, yeah. And her eyes started to get wider and wider. Then before you know it, she goes, hey, let's go back to my place and we can go hang out down in the basement. While her husband was upstairs. Okay, this is a married woman with kids who is completely unattracted, is in what I call an advanced roommate situation with her husband at this point. And he has no fucking clue what's going on, really. He doesn't. And so I have no doubt that, or very little doubt, that probably went in the direction of eventually her going, I don't love you anymore, I want a divorce, and I'm sleeping with so-and-so, something like that. That's typically how it goes. So as, horrible and depressing as it sounds, you got to be armed with the knowledge to know that you got to be you and do what you want. And it's just the way that the polarity works between men and women in relationships. If a guy is always, unless you have a totally reclusive wife who just wants to stay home and has a lot of social anxiety, and that, then great, you can go find that. But that's not typical, and most guys don't want that. Or is that what a beautiful woman's going to be up to? A more beautiful woman typically is going to have some kind of social life. It doesn't mean she's going and getting drunk every weekend, but she's socially active. And if a guy is not socially active like that at all, it's very, very unattractive. It's not the only part of attraction, but social skills pay dividends across all areas of life. And there's no doubt that it's one element of attraction, being good with people, that women admire, right? So take that story for what it's worth. And of course, I didn't go over or take her up on it because I'm not a homewrecker. But that's what you want to avoid, this getting the girlfriend. If I just get the girlfriend, and I see these kind of pleading applications for the sessions and emails of please, if I know I can just find the right woman, everything will be okay. Fucking no, it won't. It will not solve your problems. Okay, it will not do it. It will not work. You've got to fix your confidence. You've got to fix you have to fix all that within you. And then you're going to attract a much healthier relationship and all kinds of different women rather than just thinking the golden girlfriend at the end of the rainbow, once you get her, is going to save you. It does not work like that. And many of you guys know that. And it's easy to forget, right? But you got to fix you, be your best self, whatever it takes. And also show up as, regardless of whether you get a girlfriend or not, work towards being happy and carefree and enjoying your life in the moment as you're working to achieve things. That's really the ideal. And that's also super attractive to women, because it's not hunting, as I talk about, squirreling and hunting for women. You're a man on a mission, you're doing your thing. That's where women start to, everywhere you go, they can feel that energy. They can feel that vibe. Okay. So that's my Facebook Live for today. I hope it helps. Leave comments below, questions, stuff like that. Let's interact here. I really invite you guys to do that. And yeah, until the next live stream and post and all that stuff, we're complete. Bye-bye.